salute. Welcome back to Dumb Crimes and Criminals. I am your host, Rick. You're now tuned into the funniest true crime podcast in the world. You know what I mean? Before we get into today's episode, I do want to say, if you're listening to this broadcast right now, do me a favor. Spread the word about the podcast. I don't care who you tell. Just tell somebody about the podcast. I'm old school. I still believe in word of mouth. You know what I mean? Man, let's get right into today's stories, man. I got two stories for y'all today. They both include drinking and driving. You know what I'm saying? In no way, shape, or form am I making fun of, or do I think it's cool to drink and drive. I don't agree with that. I feel like if you feel you're too impaired, or if you are impaired, you should get an Uber. You know what I'm saying? Let's get that out the way first and foremost. First story is about this lady from Connecticut, right? 64 years old. She crashed a 2012 Lexus into a parked car at 2:30 in the afternoon. So you already know. If you could crash a 2012 Lexus into a parked car at 2:30 in the afternoon, you already know what type of time you was on. You already know what type of time you was on. Shouldn't have been behind the wheel. Period. You know what I mean? You shouldn't have been behind the wheel. Cops pulled her up. Cops ran a test on her, right? This lady's blood alcohol level was triple the legal limit. Triple the legal limit. Her blood alcohol level was triple the legal limit. It's 2:30 in the afternoon. You doing extremely too much. You're doing too much. You know what I'm saying? You're doing too much. Now, here's the thing. They lock her up. She spent about 6 hours in jail. She gets out of jail, goes to the liquor store, and gets pulled over again. How do you get pulled over twice in the same day for the same crime? That's wild. You know what I mean? That's wild. She got out. Like, that means, that goes to show you that only thing she was thinking about in jail was, I need to drink. That's all she was thinking about in jail. Clearly, that's all she was thinking about was, I need a drink. You get locked up for drunk driving, right? You get a DUI. They find painkillers in your purse and all that. You sit in jail for 6 hours, and your first thought when you leave jail is to drive to the liquor store is wild to me. That just shows me that while you was locked up that whole time, only thing you was thinking about was that bottle. That's it. That's the only thing you was thinking about. How is that even possible? You got locked up twice in the same day for the same crime. Like, how is that possible? Well, I could clearly see how it's possible. She got locked up. They let her out. She went and did the same shit. But I'm just saying, lady, go take your ass home. You crashed into the parked cars at 2:30 in the afternoon. It's time for your ass to take a nap. Go take a nap. Outside ain't where you need to be right now. You need to be at home catching some Z's. Outside ain't for you. It'll be here tomorrow. Get your ass home. Nothing about that holding cell made you feel like you ain't want to go back there. Like, you ain't give a damn about the holding cell. You know what I'm saying? You ain't care. You ain't care because you left the jail and drove straight to the liquor store. You didn't give a damn about the holding cell. You ain't give a damn about no jail time. You might be a thug. You say it's like, what? 64 years old. You a thug? You don't care about jail? Like, you don't care about jail? Come on, man. What are we talking about? What are we talking about, man? What 64-year-old gets pulled over and arrested for drunk driving, gets locked up, gets out of jail, and drives straight to the liquor store to get locked up again at 64 years old? You a thug. She probably ran to jail. She ran to jail. Because that's you got to be different. You different. You different to do that, man. You know what I mean? Word. I can't even. That's some next level. Hold on. Hold up. Let's get into the second story. Here. This is the second story is Let me play the audio on this second joint right here. Hold on, let me pull it up.
911, where's your emergency?
I'm on Highway 77 going north, and there's somebody that is on the wrong side of the road.
And then did you see what color or type of vehicle it was?
No, he had his brights on, man. He almost ran me off the road.
Which direction is he in? North or south?
I am going northbound on 77. He was going southbound. I am on the east lane. He was on the west lane.
Okay. Could you tell if it was a car, truck, or SUV or anything?
It looked like a truck.
Okay.
But dude, he almost hit me, so I was like, holy shit.
Okay. Can an officer or deputy contact you if they have questions about what you saw?
No, you're good. I was just like, holy shit.
Deputies know so they can go try to locate the vehicle.
Yeah, that was gnarly. That was like a lot.
Yeah, do you know why I stopped you?
Yeah, because I was on the wrong side of the road.
Yeah. Is there a reason for that?
No, but I must have missed an exit.
Missed an exit?
Were you the one that called in?
Yep.
You were?
Yeah, because I thought somebody was on the wrong side of the road, bro.
But it turned out it was you.
Yep, look at dumb.
What you just heard was audio of a man calling into 911 complaining about reckless drivers, saying how he almost was ran off the road. People are driving down the wrong side of the road. Come to find out, he was the one indeed that was driving on the wrong side of the road. This man called the police on himself and said that people was driving on the wrong side of the road, almost ran him off the road. The whole time, it was him. The whole time, it was him. That might be one of the most craziest stories I've told or shared or brought to light or whatever you want to call it on this podcast. You got to be on another level to take your phone out, call 911. You got to be on another level. He called the police on himself. He called the police on someone and reported someone for driving on the wrong side of the road, and he was the one driving on the wrong side of the road. What is going on? How do you do that? When does it kick in and you don't be like, oh shit, it's me. I'm the one on the wrong side of the road. He called the cops on himself. He called the cops and reported himself to the cops. This man called the cops and said, yo, there's somebody driving on the wrong side of the road. Y'all got to get out here. And it's him. Listen, man. Listen, man. I've been doing this podcast for a little while. I've heard some wild stories. This might be up there, man. I don't know if it's top 5, but it's knocking on his door, man. It's knocking on top 5's door, man. It might be in there. It might be in top 5. It might be. You called the cops on yourself, yo. You called the cops on yourself. You called the cops on yourself. I cannot believe this, man. Think about it. Think about how tore up you had to be. Think about it. Think about how tore up these people have to be. Let's break it down. First story. This lady, blood alcohol level was 3 times the legal limit. Right? Sat in jail for 6 hours. Got out of jail, drove straight to the liquor store. She got out of jail, drove straight to the liquor store and got pulled over again. You got pulled over twice in the same day for the same crime. Twice in the same day for the same crime. Right? Then you got my man called the cops on himself. Complained about himself. Reported himself. Told on himself. Snitched on himself. Complained about himself. He called the cops on himself and said, hey, man, it's somebody out here driving on the wrong side of the road. And it was him. Blame it on blame it on whatever you want. All right? Blame it on whatever you want. But, hey, man, I know he felt like knee-high to an ant when they played him back the footage of the call. Like, my man, that's you. You're the person you're talking about. How is that? Yo, imagine you calling, right? Imagine you calling the police station complaining about something and you're the person that you're complaining about. Hey, yo, imagine calling the police station and complaining about something and you're the person that they're complaining about. Imagine calling the police station and say, yo, somebody's in front of my house blasting loud music. And it's you that's sitting in front of you in your fucking driveway blasting loud music. That's what that's like. That's what that's like. You called the cops on yourself. It's like you calling the cops, complaining about loud music at your house or in front of your house, and it's you that's sitting out there blasting the music. That's what that, I can't. When I read that, I had read the story, but then when they said that they had video, I was like, oh no, we playing the video, man. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous, man. But listen, man, like I said, man, this is this podcast, man, it just goes to show you what be going on out here, because I don't even know how to explain some of the stories that I got on deck for y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, this is the Dumb Crimes and Criminals podcast. I had to come in here, man. I had to tap in with y'all. Appreciate y'all. I appreciate the listenership. The listenership is growing. Definitely appreciate that. If you tapped in with me, man, you want to support the podcast, all I'm asking is you just spread the word about the podcast. Tell people about it. Yeah, man, that's it. But on that note, I am going to get up out of here. I got a lot more in store for y'all. I'm going to start, I don't know when, but very soon I got to start putting these episodes up on YouTube, man. I know I always say that, but it'll make its way over there soon. But yeah, man, again, we don't condone drunk driving, but I had to tell you these stories, man. I came across these stories. I'm like, nah, I got to bring that to the podcast, because that's just ridiculous, man. You know what I mean? You ever heard something so ridiculous you just got to shake your head? I read them stories and shook my head, man. You know what I mean? I just straight up shook my head, man. Word. But listen, follow me on Instagram at Rick_BHR. Listen, I say this all the time. If you hear my voice right now, I want you to be a part of the Dumb Crimes and Criminals community. Hit the email, thedccpodcast at gmail.com. Send me some stories. You know what I mean? Come on, we all watch the news. We all read. We all see the articles. Send me some stories, man. I want to see what y'all think is funny, man. I'll bring it on the platform and we could talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So on that note, I'm going to sign off. Appreciate y'all for tapping in with me. Let's get it.